Psychiatrist jokes, psychologist jokes. Why can't you hear a psychiatrist using the bathroom? Because the P is silent. How many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but the bulb has got to really want to change. An elevator walks into a psychiatrist's office and says, "Hey doc, I think I'm out of control." The doctor replies, "You're an elevator in your line of work, you're going to have your ups and downs. What do you call a student that got C's all the way through med school? Hopefully not your psychiatrist." Why did the doctor send the expression to a psychiatrist? Because it wasn't rational. What happens when a psychiatrist and a hooker spend the night together? In the morning each of them says, $200, please. What's the difference between a psychologist and a magician? A psychologist pulls habits out of rats. Why is psychotherapy a lot quicker for a man than for a woman? Because when it's time to go back to childhood, a man is already there. My psychiatrist sent me for an MRI because she thinks I have a magnetic personality. Psychiatrist to his blonde nurse, "Just say we're very busy. Don't keep saying it's a madhouse." A man went to his psychiatrist and said, "Every time I drink my coffee, I get a stabbing pain in my right eye." The psychiatrist said, "Well, have you tried taking the spoon out?" A psychologist returned from a conference in Aspen Lodge, where all the psychologists were permitted to ski for free. Her husband asked her how it went. She replied, "Fine, but I've never seen so many Freudian slips. Doctor, I keep thinking I'm a dog. Lie down on the couch and I'll examine you." "I can't, I'm not allowed on the furniture." Neurotics build castles in the sky. Psychotics live in them. Psychiatrists collect the rent. Psychiatrist visit. A psychiatrist visited a California mental institution and asked a patient, "How did you get here? What was the nature of your illness?" He got this reply: "Well, it all started when I got married and I guess I should never have done it. I got hitched to a widow with a grown daughter who then became my stepdaughter. My daddy came to visit us, fell in love with my lovely stepdaughter, then married her. And so my stepdaughter was now my stepmother. Soon, my wife had a son who was, of course, my daddy's brother-in-law, since he is the half-brother of my stepdaughter, who is now, of course, my daddy's wife. So, as I told you, when my stepdaughter married my daddy, she was at once my stepmother. Now, since my new son is brother to my stepmother, he also became my uncle. As you know, my wife is my step-grandmother since she is my stepmother's mother. Don't forget that my stepmother is my stepdaughter. Remember, too, that I am my wife's grandson. But hold on. Just a few minutes more. You see, since I'm married to my step-grandmother, I am not only the wife's grandson and her hubby, but I am also my own grandfather. Now can you understand how I got put in this place? Psychiatry and proctology. Two doctors opened offices in a small town and put up a sign reading, "Drive Smith and Dr. Jones, Psychiatry and Proctology." The town fathers were not too happy with the sign, and they proposed hysteria and posteriors. The doctors didn't find it acceptable, so they suggested schizoids and hemorrhoids. The town didn't like that either and countered with catatonics and high colonics. Thumbs down again. By now the story was in the papers, and suggestions began rolling in. Manic depressives and anal retentive minds and behinds. Lost souls and a-holes. Analysis and anal cysts. Queers and rears. Nuts and butts. Freaks and cheeks. Loons and moons. None of these satisfied one side or the other, but they finally settled On _ Dr. Smith and Dr. Jones, odds and ends. _ Psych visit. A blonde is speaking to his psychiatrist. Blonde, I'm on the road a lot, and my clients are complaining that they can never reach me. Psychiatrist, don't you have a phone in your car? Blonde, that was a little too expensive, so I did the next best thing. I put a mailbox in my car. Psychiatrist, how's that working? Blonde, actually, I haven't gotten any letters yet. Psychiatrist, and why do you think that is? Blonde, I figured it's because when I'm driving around, my zip code keeps changing. Jobless blonde. A very busty young blonde lady was lying on her psychiatrist's couch, telling him how frustrated she was. I tried to be an actress and failed, she complained. I tried to be a secretary and failed, I tried being a writer and failed, then I tried being a sales clerk and I failed. At that, too. The shrink thought for a moment and said, everyone needs to live a full, satisfying life. Why don't you try nursing? The girl thinks about this, then bares one of her large, beautiful breasts, points it at the shrink, and says, well, go ahead, I'll give it a try. Group therapy. A psychiatrist was conducting a group therapy session with 4 young mothers and their small children. You all have obsessions, he observed. To the first mother he said, you are obsessed with eating. You even named your daughter Candy. He turned to the second mom. Your obsession is money. Again, it manifests itself in your child's name, Penny. He turned to the third mom. Your obsession is alcohol and your child's name is Brandy. At this point, the fourth mother got up, took her little boy by the hand, and whispered, come on, Dick, let's go home. Doctor/patient. Patient, doctor, I have a problem. I feel unhealthy and depressed. Doctor, you should cut down on drinks. Patient, I don't touch a drop. Doctor, you should cut down on smoking. Patient, I don't smoke. Doctor, you should stop taking drugs. Patient, I don't do drugs. Doctor, you should cut down on womanizing. Patient, haven't touched a woman in my life. Doctor, in that case, get yourself a drink, learn to smoke, do some drugs, and find a couple of girlfriends.